Hello, 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 everybody here. Welcome to Soliloquies and Shenanigans, the premier marquee event for 2021 by the Delta Beta Omega chapter of Iota Phi Theta Fraternity Incorporated. We're here tonight to have a little bit of fun, guys. We're just going to be regaled, as we were just previously by Mr. Peabody, with some spoken word, with some elegant comedy, and most importantly, in fellowship and brotherhood within our fraternity. Tell you a little bit about our organization here. The Delta Beta Omega chapter of Iota Phi Theta Fraternity Incorporated was founded this January, earlier this year, by 14 charter members, and we are over 40 affiliates strong as we are present. So we are trying to make sure that we provide a certain level of assistance and prestige within and for our community, and most importantly, to invigorate our community as well as our brotherhood through service acts and charisma. So with that, I'd like to also present a couple of my co-MCs for the night. Okay, we have Mr. Keith Jordan, Navy man, VA Services Executive, as well as a former chapter Polaris of BPO. We also have notable social media influencer, Crazy J. He is our entertainer and MC for the night as well, too. Presenting the soliloquy side will be Master Keith Jordan, the shenanigan side, Mr. Crazy J. So with that, we'd love to have them introduce themselves and say a quick word over here, and we will get right on into it. But welcome to Soliloquies and Shenanigans.
Greetings, everyone. My name is Keith Jordan, current member of Delta Beta Omega alumni chapter of Iota Phi Theta Fraternity Incorporated. I want to thank all the artists that came out tonight to join us. We are looking for a fun-filled evening of your talents and your expertise. And with that said, I'm going to turn it over to my co-MC.
Welcome, everyone. Welcome. Good evening, wherever you are throughout the different regions. You're rocking with Crazy J. You can follow me on social media, Instagram at It's Crazy J, Twitter at It's_Crazy J. That's J with 2 Y's. We'll have some fun tonight.
Thank you very much, gentlemen. Thank you very much. So we're going to have a little bit of fun tonight, guys. So I think we should go ahead and lead it on off. So first individual, I'm going to leave that right on over there to Keith. Go ahead and introduce Mr. Ani.
All right, so coming to the mic, we have a spoken word artist. He is a member of Iota Phi Theta Fraternity Incorporated. He is a producer, publisher, poet, and author of My Big Black Audacity. Please welcome to the mic, brother Kariga Ani.
Peace, y'all. Peace. Yes, Kariga Ani. Nice to meet you all. I'm grateful to be here, and I'm honored to share this mic with these luminaries tonight. So I'm just going to go ahead and get into the proceedings this evening. The first one that I have to share is entitled Cheers. It's kind of tongue-in-cheek. A toast to the fishers and consumers of Nin, to the penultimate beneficiaries of imperialism, surreptitiously receiving remittances from a legacy of west wind-blown boatloads of money. A toast to the conversation framers and the blood splatter elevated to the level of high art. A toast to the robbers of God, to the sinners and absolvers, to the abusive stepfathers of jazz, hip-hop, gospel, and rock. A toast to the narcissists sitting in the box seats at the concert and the suicide. To the original gangsters and the benevolent liars, to the masters of the silver tongues and daggers plunged into the backs of the ancient and the blameless. A toast to the 250-year planners, to the pomp and circumstantial mass incarcerators, to the toilet tissue treaty breakers and the revisionist histories woven in the nursery rhymes. A toast to the intrepid barbarians, to the sweet science of sentiment, to the conquerors of the Black Gold Coast and open hearts. A toast to the ones that always see the opportunity and innocence, to the hustlers and hypocrites, to the free traders of captivated people, to the ones that had the gall to conceive a market so profitable that the 20% liquefaction of the product is not considered cost prohibitive. A toast A toast to the host of the cakewalks, Mandingo fights, Sunday morning peacock strolls and orgies. A toast to all the peddlers of flesh and hope and change. A toast to the genteel assassins of inconvenient truths, to the spoiled. This is the first one. So, next one. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Next one I have is called Crystal Stare, and it is from my first book, actually my second book, entitled My Big Black Audacity, currently available on Amazon. So if you pick that up, I really appreciate it. Y'all appreciate the support. Once again, the name of the book is My Big Black Audacity. All right, so this is in that book. Crystal Stare, alternately titled The Lost and Found. If I were ever asked about it, I'd say my culture is a patchwork quilt. Scar tissue stitching panels of vast aspirations and agony into an identity, an ideal and an infamy, a bitterness considered sentimentally diluted in the being disabused of history, critical thinking and memory rescinded, dissension and revenge delayed, essentially. My culture is the traded leaf and hated root, a still living complexity dissected and reduced, mimicked and marketed, consumed in parts, its true essence discarded and left to rot. I would say my culture is the savanna and the alleyway, the palm and the poplar tree, the darkness of the rainforest, the hardness of the concrete, the emptiness, the pocket, and all of the wisdom in the black bottom, the gold in the gutter, the funk up under your fingernails and boot heels and superimposition. If I were ever asked, I'd tell you all of this. But the truth is, my culture hasn't had a chance to happen in a minute. I've been too busy mimicking and listening to you to truly live it. For all of my resilience and my cool, for all of my appearances and movements, I am still American History X, the variable left unaddressed except when disparaged and edited, a neglected collection of chain-laden vignettes and nose-bone references, caricatures without character, a people spoken of instead of being spoken to or known. At the moment, my culture is a metaphor for everywhere you've ever been and everyone you've ever ripped apart. A metaphor for your hypocrisy and barbarism. The crucifix is twisted into slip knots, the old English graffiti scribbled on the walls of pyramids, the nonsensical differences and deadly consequences. Question, how much for the amusement? For the silverback gorillas and the niggers in the cages? For the chinks and the red men and the spics in the window display? Tell me, what's the going rate for the sweatshops and the bargain basements? For the innocents lost in the Southeast Asian brothels? For all of your insatiable walks on the wild side? For all of the desecration required to make you smile? Tell me, what is the price of admission? For your frenetic escapades and illicit expeditions, for your fetishes and lecherous predilections? How much? How much for the shattered limbs and aspirations of the gladiators you cast into the fray? How much for the simultaneous sensations of safety and danger you feel as they're decapitated and the crowd goes wild? How much for the way your favorite entertainment screams and bleeds and dies? No, wait, never mind. Don't answer that. I don't want to make you uncomfortable. I never ever want to make you uncomfortable. My culture whispers your name, attempts to evade your insecurities and homicide justifications by dressing up in three-piece complacency and vanilla conversations. My culture is what happens when devastation meets imagination, the desperation finally resigned to fate and fading into blues you pretend to find relatable. Tell me, where would you be without the blood of God? Without the crimson plagiarism staining your palms, without the constant disavowal of the messianic figures we are and always have been? How would you survive if we finally stopped playing along, if the context of history finally rendered us unwilling to continue this facade? Your inability to generate original concepts renders genocide and suicide synonymous. So who will you be when the polyrhythm stops and the karma comes a calling? As long as we've been acquainted, our patience has been your salvation. But if I were ever asked about it, I'd say my culture is awakening, reclaiming a translation of love still unmolested by the devil's tongue, embracing the overcoming implicit of relentless struggle when fighting is all that there is left to do and the only alternative is dying. My culture is coming out swinging and singing and smiling, reclaiming, renaming itself whole. My culture is my own, and I'm no longer open to your suggestions. Contrary to your narrative, there are some things I don't need or want your help with. Besides, if history has revealed anything, it's that my culture dies whenever your opinion is considered. That's number 2. Thank you. All right, and then finally, I got one more. This will be a little bit shorter, and then I'll be out of y'all's here. I'm truly grateful once again for the opportunity. Brothers, this is beautiful. I love seeing us come together. All right, so the last one that I have is entitled Soul Food to Go. alternately titled Black People Meet, MEAT. Dear customers, we regret to inform you that though the lights are still on and the fire still burns in the kitchen, we will soon be moving to an undisclosed location. As such, our dining room is closed to the public effective immediately. As some of you have been patronizing our business for many generations, we recognize that this may come as quite a shock, but we must insist on this course of action as it is essential for our survival. We have recently ascertained that many of our most frequent patrons have been taking advantage of our trust, breaking in the back door under cover of night, plagiarizing our recipes and preparation methods, stealing from our register, and brutalizing our crew members after they clock out for the night, all the while simultaneously leaving us scathing assessments in the press. Your incredulous responses notwithstanding, it is clear that we are being sabotaged, and if we continue attempting to do business here, we will become insolvent. It is clear that we can no longer cook in this neighborhood. Heretofore, we've been shedding our blood, sweat, tears, and labor as an existential, pragmatic, and or aspirational matter, functioning under the pretense that eventually you would come to value us if we would only continue serving you with a smile, hoping that the day would come when you would appreciate us for all that we have brought to the table, but we have finally come to the realization that your money was never worth the price that we've had to pay. Also, for the record, and contrary to what has become popular opinion, our familiar likeness, recipes, and related intellectual properties are not public domain. Of course, if you are of the mind that we can be artificially recreated, we cordially invite you to make your best efforts. We wish you good luck in your endeavors, and we look forward to watching your dauntless conquest from afar, as we are certain it will be the first time in history we find you entertaining. Moreover, we must inform you that we burned all of the invites to the cookout at the protest last night. We remembered you'd expressed interest in this event some time ago, but we concluded that you were no longer interested, as none of you were in attendance when we needed you the most. So yes, our dining room is closed to the public effective immediately, and no, we cannot be convinced otherwise. Yes, we will be rebranding our establishment once we've reestablished it, and no, we will not be providing you a forwarding address. We are familiar with the saying, the customer is always right, and we hate to be insensitive, but we finally come to recognize the difference between a guest and a grifter, not to be rude, but as a matter of principle and as a function of our newly established policy of collective affirmation, we are no longer serving hypocrites at this location. The notice on the wall explicitly states that we reserve the right to refuse service to anyone, and we stopped serving your kind the moment we came to realize that in your eyes, we were the only ones on the menu. Thank y'all.
I don't know about you all, but that brother right there is on the one. I am purchasing said book expeditiously. Okay.
I just purchased it. I
I'm going to.
grab a copy of it. That's all.
Woo. Man, I'm trying to tell you, what he, man, talk about it.
Listen, hey, that's what poets do, man. That's what poets do. You know, they speak from the spirit, from the soul. So that brother blessed us.
That brother's waters run deep, real deep. Ooh, that set the tone right there. That definitely set the tone. That's perfect. That's absolutely perfect right over there. So with that, I think we should go ahead and get into a little bit of comedy. I think that our brother Crazy J right here has a little bit of words and everything for us for our next featured guest tonight. So I will leave that in his most capable hands. Please, thank you, Mr. J.
Okay, we're gonna get some snaps for that, because that was deep right there. Okay, that was real deep. So y'all go ahead and give him a snap from y'all living room. Tell you that was deep. I'm talking about real deep, like pockets with a hole in it. You know, I'm talking about. Oh, made me feel a type of way. But we're gonna keep it moving. We're gonna go to the Power of Laughter Hour. You know, we got a great talented artist coming up next to the mic. He is an actor, MC, comedian. You may have seen him on BET's Comic View. You may have seen him on Comedy Central. Without further ado, welcome Marquez the Greatest.
Hey, thank y'all for having me. For all the adults, the children in the room, this is the adult portion of the show. So I'm gonna give y'all a little bit of time to send them to the back so that you can have a moment to yourself. And while I'm doing this, I'd like everybody to keep the table talk down. Don't type shit up in the corner, because this is a spoken art, just like the poetry. So it's a little distracting when we're trying to listen and then we end up reading. And then y'all might end up missing a joke or something. So, you know, so just contemplate that. I know that this is a weird little mix. It feels like social media, but it's supposed to be a show. So in an actual club, you couldn't be talking without somebody saying something to you because you are distracting from the person who is making the presentation. So if you'd be so kind, it'd be very much so appreciated if y'all wouldn't comment like, where can I get the book? That stuff you do after, after the show. It's cool for the link to go up there. Everybody asking these questions. And so this is different for me too. This is new millennium. You know what I mean? We are all in our own domiciles and we are having a gathering, and that's beautiful. So hopefully the children are going. Give yourselves a round of applause for taking the time to enjoy your own life in the midst of the end of the world. It got to be the end of the world. Look at what we're doing. So, shoot, if you drink, drink up. Never mind people who tell you you shouldn't drink and drive, especially during a lockdown. But if you out and about, don't worry about that, because drinking and driving ain't never caused an accident. It's drinking before you drive that the problem comes in. You know what I mean? You heard people, I drive better when I'm drunk, and then you might run into something. But if you drink and drive simultaneously, by the time you get drunk, you be where you're trying to go. So have a drink, enjoy yourself. You at home, if your children home, put them in the room. It's time to go to bed or something. Take time for you. That's all I'm saying. If you smoke, well, before I get to weed, since that's legal now, if you gonna drink, I got one little suggestion. Don't drink malt liquor though. Because I'm convinced malt liquor is made by the government to kill folks in lower income brackets. So don't do that. You know what I mean? Because as if the 40 ounce wasn't big enough, Old English came out with a 64 ounce moonshine jug. You can't even hold that with one hand. How you supposed to kick it cool with your partner outside talk? Yeah, anyway, what's next? A truck? All right, back it up. I got this for $3, nigga. So don't drink malt liquor, is all I'm saying. It's the end of the world. We know it is. And let's laugh and have a good time. I'm actually glad I'm not scared. You know what I mean? People act like death didn't exist before the surveillance of sickness. People forget that, you know, planes crash. In fact, planes crash so much, I didn't even listen to the stewardess no more. Excuse me, flight attendants. You know, it might be a dude now. You know what I mean? I just stopped listening, because come on. You hear it, you heard them. In case of an emergency, you can use your seat cushion as a flotation device. I'm like, stop lying. I watch the news, I ain't never seen now cushion floating in the water. You've seen the news and you've seen the debris too. You've seen it. You ever seen a cushion floating in the water? Have we ever seen one person ever survive from, woo, good thing I used my seat cushion as a flotation device. I was almost dead. Don't nothing on the plane float. In fact, every time they show us a shot of the water, it'd be clear blue. You don't see a pack of peanuts, pretzels, nothing. But no, what they tell us, in case of the loss of cabin pressure, well, I already said that part. That's what weed kicks in. But they want you to breathe. They want you to breathe through this oxygen mask in case of a loss of cabin pressure, right? Now, why would I want to die with a clear head? I want oxygen asphyxiation. I want to black out, then die. That's what I want. I don't want to be all coherent, clear-headed, sober-minded as the plane is descending, watching people panic on the plane. Only thing we can do is I prefer and then hit the ground. That's what I'd like. But no, what they want you to do. They want you to spend your last few moments uncomfortable. They want you to put your seat back up, put your tape away, put your head down, and then let me dying. Crunch ain't gonna break the fall. So since we dying, I'm gonna die comfortable. I'm gonna find my chair and put my table down because I want you to bring me a drink. A whole can, bitch. Whole can. You spend all this money on the ticket, they want to give you a half a cup of tea. You better bring me the bar. You know what? That's okay. We dying. I'm gonna deal with first class. Y'all give me some champagne. It don't make sense. Death existed before all this. It's the end of the world. You might as well enjoy yourself, say what you want to say, be who you want to be. You know what I mean? How do I know it's the end of the world? Look, we got a president that gives speeches like a toddler. You heard him. Goats are like mushrooms. And if you shoot a duck, I'm scared of toast. You're like, what the fuck? What's that got to do with gas? Does anybody understand this enigmatic motherfucking speeches? And I know a lot of people like Biden. I do too, watching them fall up steps. Come on. We love to watch people biting. You know what I mean? We grew up in the hood where if you fail, it was funny. As long as you didn't bleed, it was funny. And he didn't bleed, but he did hurt his knee. That shit was funny. But you gotta have a sense of humor with that. The CDC and put out guidelines for how to survive the zombie apocalypse. Now, this is the Center of Disease Control, not Universal Studios. What the fuck? Zombies? Forget COVID. Tell me what you seeing in the lab with zombie rats and shit. And this mask ain't gonna stop a zombie attack. So that's going on. That's how you know it's the end of the world. The Pentagon then finally admitted that UFOs are real. That is. Now, just a few years ago, they were saying everybody that said that aliens is real, it's a conspiracy nut. Now it's real? Make me think the shit you say is a conspiracy now. Conspiracy theory now is real too. You motherfucker. I don't trust the government though. That's just me. I don't trust people in authority. It started with my parents. I don't trust them. You know what I mean? Just me. Just like the police. The thing about the police that trips me out is they get away with murder like a motherfucker. I'm trying not to cuss, but it's slowing up my time. So hopefully your children are in the room by now. But that's what I'm saying, the police. Now mind you, I'm not one of those people that feel like we need to defund the police. I'm not one of those. But I am one of those that say we need to prosecute the police. Shit. According to the same laws that we get prosecuted with, you know what I mean? And shit, man, the shit they doing, I mean, damn, they've been killing niggas, but now they deliver it to your house like it's pizza and shit. Botham John, just what the fuck? And she was a police officer. Now I got a problem with that because your powers of deduction and your attention to detail, you didn't notice you was parking on the wrong parking level. You didn't notice you was on the wrong floor. You didn't notice you was in the wrong apartment. You had to knock on the door. You rang the doorbell and shot a nigga, but you thought that was your. That's hilarious to me. Now, back in the 90s, this was when I really knew it was crazy. When they shot and killed that dude in New York, they shot him like 41 times. 41? 41? What kind of shit is that? Because you know they had to reload. What was that? Like, pop, 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 pop. Pop, 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 pop. Pop, 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 pop. Pop, 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 pop. Free. Pop, pop. What the fuck? LAPD, they shoot first, ask questions later. Pow, where you going? Ah, shit, to get gummy bears. Why? What the fuck? Now, see, I don't hate the police because half of my family is LAPD. They are, which makes the family gatherings a little uncomfortable. Because, you know, the only thing about it is, you know, it's like my cousin, right? You ever know somebody that just can't leave a job at the office? You know what I mean? He gonna tell me I'm not to take in for possession of narcotics. I said, nigga, you gave me the weed. The fuck? It's Saturday, nigga, relax. We need to go on vacation, you know? And I know if there's Caucasian people in the house, the virtual house, y'all don't see it the way we do. You know what I mean? I know it's just different because it's a cultural difference. Because for y'all, whenever y'all see the police, you see friend, protector. You know, but everybody else who is non-Caucasian sees when we see the police, we see you motherfucking murderer. It's just automatic. You know what I mean? And now, I'm gonna be real with you, to my Caucasian fan. I love the way y'all talk to the police, though. Y'all talk to the police some of the coolest ways ever. Y'all get to cuss them out. Just write the damn ticket. Snatch it, speed off again. You know what we got to do when they ask us for our license and registration? We got to narrate our movements like, I'm gonna reach into the glove compartment and get my license and registration, okay? Can you tell your partner to take your hand off your gun? And that silence. That silence like kryptonite to a name. We just lose all kind of muscle control. Whoop, whoop. You're like, oh shit. Hit the ground, police, get up. Just check me from here, officer. You ain't gonna do nothing but put me back down here. What the fuck? But the laws of the land have always been kind of a double sword, a double standard, a double-edged sword, a double standard. You know what I mean? Because contemplate this with me. When the drafters of the Declaration of Independence declared the rights of life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness, they wasn't talking about me. Because, ladies, 1857, in the Dred Scott case, the United States Supreme Court stated flat out that the Constitution does not apply to niggas. So I ask you, since I'm not able to partake of any of the benefits, should I go to jail for selling dope? I just asked that question because the nigga go to court on Monday. I'm working on original defense, but look like I gotta take the deal, huh? But it's the end of the world. We know it is, man. Look at the priests. They still are raping the boys. They still rape, they taking them down. Now, what's crazy is that now, if you report the priest for digging down a little boy, you go to jail. I wish they do that with bank robbery. God damn, what kind of shit is that, man? Are you sure? Yeah, that was him. Okay, sir, you can go. Bitch, put your hands behind your back. What I do? We wish crime would be like that, but they're raping the boys still. And that's a serious thing, because not only did they violate their body, they raped their soul. Because how they supposed to believe in God now and his representative digging them down? That's why I say, forget church. Read the Bible for yourself. That's what I say. Now I feel the tension. A lot of asses talking, ooh, he's going to hell. No, I ain't. In fact, it's going to piss you off when you die. You ain't never done nothing. You ain't smoking weed, you ain't partied, you ain't done nothing. You get to heaven, I'm there like, I told you he didn't care. Hey, Jesus, I need some more wine, homie. Thank you. You know, that's just my take on everything. And as you can tell, it's a little bit opposite than the mainstream. But that's how I grew up. See, I was a born rebel. Like now, the best way to rebel is be square. Because everybody doing drugs now. Percent, Mount. Everybody doing drugs. Everybody getting drunk. Everybody getting high. So now I don't do nothing. I don't smoke. I don't drink. I work. You know, I do the cool shit, which is the opposite of what everybody else is doing. Now, back when not everybody was doing drugs, I did a little bit. I smoked weed. The weed ain't really a drug. Well, it didn't used to be a drug. It used to just be a plant. It used to be fruit. You know, it had seeds. It was fruit. Ain't that how you supposed to tell a vegetable from a fruit? But you know, now they didn't change the plant into a pharmaceutical. All this weed now is just it's too strong. It don't even make sense. And they got all these names, boy, they sound enticing. Blueberry cheesecake, strawberry lemonade, chicken and waffles. I'm like, shit. I got the munchies just standing in line. I'll be back. I'm going to get something to eat. Shit. But weed back in the 70s, when a dime was 10 joints, you know, now I grew up in the 70s. My uncle and them used to have weed, like, well, this used to be how you could measure the weed. You just put it up to your hand. I used to see them do that. You know what I mean? But that weed was normal. That was natural weed. This new weed right here is ridiculous. It don't make no sense to be high for 22 hours. That don't make sense. That's too much. Because I tried it, you know, I did. It was new, you know, it was exciting. It was legal. It was like Amsterdam. Because I went to Amsterdam before. And it blows your mind when you go, this shit is legal. It's crazy. So finally, you know, they had something like it is, you know, so you go to the dispensary, go in there and get it, so you know, so I tried it, you know, me and my partners. So we sitting there watching TV and I started suffocating. Not because somebody was choking me, it's because I was so high, I fucked around, forgot how to breathe. I'm holding my breath, don't know I'm holding my breath, I'm just, ow! Help me. They're like, what's wrong with you? Breathe. Nigga, you holding your breath. You gonna fuck around and die, the police gonna come. Mark, calm down, Give him some milk. So I had, you know, said, man, I had a panic attack, thought I was having a heart attack. Take me to the hospital. Took me to the hospital. We were so high when we got there, we just sat in the parking lot. But I made it through that night. But weed, in its natural form, like everything else, you know, when God makes it, it's the best. You know, like I don't want no vegetables and fruits that God didn't make. You know them GMOs, genetically modified organisms. That shit without seeds. I don't want that. But I believe how we got to this point in the world with it being so crazy, right? Is that weed is the forbidden fruit that got Adam and Eve kicked out the garden. That's what I think. You know what I mean? It wasn't no apple. You can get a kilo of apples right now. You ain't going to jail. Well, you used to not go to jail. Now weeds, you know. But I do. I think that was the forbidden fruit. And Adam had it made. He was chilling by himself, though. Chilling. It was all peaceful, birds. He gonna get lonely. I'm lonely. God's like, bro, pick a pet. Trust me. I want a human. He said, all right. Put him to sleep, signifying the last bit of peace he was ever gonna get, and brought him the woman. Now this is how I know Adam and Eve had to be black. Because only a black woman's gonna question why she can't do some shit. Well, why can't I eat the fruit? It's because God said not to eat the fruit. We ain't paying no rent, but you're trying to fuck that up, ain't you? And what's the snake doing between your legs? See, you're freaky. Get the snake out from between your legs and stay away from the fruit. What she do? Like most women, went off with the snake. Fuck what her husband talking about. Came back, ran game. But you love me. You eat the fruit. He was weak, ate the fruit. They got evicted. Niggas been having a hard time ever since. Fast forward to slavery like a motherfucker. Then, of course, this is when all the questions start. Well, why are Caucasian people's butts so flat? Because they sat down for 400 years. They ain't do nothing. It's a muscle. If you don't use it, it atrophies. It goes flat. And then, of course, the other one. Why are black people always late? Because the last time we was comfortable, we ended up in chains, motherfucker. Fooling us with a boat party. Ain't that a bitch? That's the reason why you can't get us on time for nothing now. You tell us 9, we coming at 12. Because this time of people getting locked up, we gonna be the last one. The police don't, okay, we ain't cool. But laughter is good. Anything that can make you laugh, I say you should do it at least once a day. Find something to laugh hard about once a day. Because if you don't enjoy your today, you never know. Tomorrow could be worse. Shit. You know what I mean? Because look how all the diseases mutate, right? You know, just like the pervasive sickness. It's mutations. Nigga, gonorrhea didn't mutate before this. And that tripped me out. They say it's now resistant to penicillin. I'm like, damn. You know, because gonorrhea in the 70s, man, you know, you just be out the game for 3 days. And you're like, put me back in, coach. You know, it was cool. Get a little shot. You was straight. Now it's been mutated. What else gonna mutate? I hope crabs don't. God damn. Because you know, back in the 90s, that shit sound crazy. Back in the 1900s. Back in the 90s, I got crabs, you know, shit, I'm gonna admit it. Tripped me out, because I ain't never had shit. Not since either. Not before, not since. But man, it tripped me out to even discover it. How I discovered it was, I was sitting at home by myself watching TV, caressing my nuts, you know, because that's what men do when we're alone. We treat ourselves special. And I pulled something, and it pulled back. I said, what the fuck is that? I ran to the drugstore then. I didn't even make it to the pharmacy. I'm yelling at the cashier. Y'all got something to kill shit delivering? They told me aisle 5. And what was in aisle 5 was Nix. Now, in case you don't know what Nix is a box of some bullshit, really. It's a cream, right? And it comes with a little toy comb. Got to be a toy comb because you pull plugs out your eyebrows if you try to comb it with just little shit. They tell you, comb your pubics and get down to the roots. I'm like, God damn. You know, after all that torture, nigga, the crowd was like, nigga, we don't die, we multiply. Good. I'm like, man, I ran to the clinic then. They wasn't dying. I was like, I need something that's up to the strength. Give me shampoo, shit. But it's getting worse. I mean, damn, it went from gonorrhea and syphilis to herpes. It was already mutated. Then it went to HIV, AIDS. What is next? We don't want to see what's next. See, the only thing left would be genital leprosy, wouldn't it? Just chick just get up in the morning, coochie fall up. I better go to the doctor. That's not normal. Dude be in the bathroom, loving himself, just break off. Cocoon. Ah! Fellas, because I don't care how tough you think you are, your dick break off in your hand, screaming like a girl. Ah! If you be so tripped out mentally, you can even call the ambulance. You just get some duct tape. No! No! So we don't want to see everything mutate and keep getting worse. But shit, it's just how human beings are. Is that my time? Is that the light? You telling me it's a 2-minute warning? I can't tell. You just switching up the stream. My first time doing a virtual show. So, but and fellas, you know, since I'm on the top. Oh shit, am I muted? Is it over? Did I go over time? Oh no, okay, all right. I can't tell, so just work with me as I'm working with you. So, fellas, just let me give you some advice, you know, in this in this new millennium. We 21 years into the new millennium. That shit is crazy. Stop trying to hurt the coochie. You know, I see a lot of mature dudes in the room, so I know y'all know, but you know what I mean. But just some of these other cats, especially the newer generation, you know, millennials and all that, you know what I mean? Because, you know, I understand it's the porno, you know what I mean? Like everything looks like it's just one speed. Stop trying to hurt the coochie, okay? You can fuck around and hurt yourself. And let me tell you why it's a waste of time to try and hurt the coochie. Number one, it's elastic. One size fits all, sorry. Number two, people come out the motherfucker. A baby, that's people, that's a person. This little bastard's gonna grow up, go to the club, get drunk, get high, be fucking, that's people. So, unless your dick weighs 8 pounds, 5 ounces, you cannot hurt the coochie. So just stop before you hurt yourself. Fuck around, break your dick, like I did. And people never want to, they go, no, you didn't, you didn't break your dick. Yeah, I did. They go, well, how? How'd you break your dick? You know, because I know dudes, we used to talk like that. Ooh, look at her. I love to break my dick off and be careful what you wish for. Be careful, because it can happen. So I'll tell you, sex is like driving, okay? You just don't get behind the wheel of a car and be looking all around, don't pay attention to the road, you run into shit. And then, you know, sometimes during sex, there's a pop-out, you know, just naturally, it just happens. But normally, you know, your dick might deflect off a thigh, butt cheek, or something by itself. No hands required, just flex by itself. And then, you know, you reconnect, you re-engage, and, you know, carry on. Me and my wife, I had a head-on collision with a butt cheek. I'm like, woo! Took me to the doctor, took me to the emergency room. And I don't even know why they call it that. They should just call it what it is. Look, have a seat. We'll get you when we feel like it wrong. I sat there so long, my dick felt about the size of a titty. That was scary. But ladies, let me say this though. If it's ladies in the room, I got a newfound respect for y'all after that. Woo! Because y'all bleed 7 days out the month, every month. Still go to work, go to school, handle your business, you're still productive. In fact, some of y'all might be in here right now, laughing, having a good time, bleeding right now. Me, I bled one night. I'm getting nauseous about the fact I need to do cook shit. What the fuck? How do they do this shit? I respect y'all. You know, but I'm cool now. You know, people want to know, how did it end? You know, I'm cool. I had to rename it though. I call it Lazarus now because it has been resurrected from the dead, you know. So, I don't know how much time that was. If you want me to keep going, I can go. Shaggy Flores is, see, I'm reading shit. I don't know, is there a light? Okay, that's it, hermano. All right, well, hey, for the adults, I hope you enjoyed a little bit of adult entertainment. You know what I mean? You got a break from your child. Shit, these motherfuckers drive me crazy nowadays. We need a break. We locked up with them. So anyway, thank y'all for letting me be myself. And yeah, man, thank y'all. I appreciate it. Right on, man.
Yeah, man. Great set, brother. Great set.
Oh man, thank you, man. I appreciate it, man. I appreciate each day. And just let me say that Karega, excellent poems, man. That was his name, right? Karega Ani? That's his name?
That is his name.
Yeah, man, excellent work, and I'll be getting your book too, bro. That's real. So right on. Thank y'all.
We're gonna have to get that brother back because that was pretty hilarious. So
thank you, man.
They bringing it to the door. That was funny enough. Okay, so guys, that was of course a great set. We appreciate the great for his contribution for that one. Marquez killed it right over there. We're gonna give you guys a short intermission. You can do whatever it is that you feel like is warranted. We will be back in 5 minutes to be able to host our next acts. This is Soliloquies and Shenanigans by DBO.
Turn the corner spinning, bust that ass, get up, dust off the mask, whoever laugh, give him a head up. He got jumped, it pumped his adrenaline. He said it made him tougher than a bump of raw medicine. To write all night long, the hourglass is still slow. Flow from hellborn to free power like Lil Cole, and still owe bills. Pay dues forever. Slaves use when it comes to who's more cleverer. Used to wear leather goose V with the fur collar, and charged a fee for loose leaf words per dollar. You heard holler. Broad or dude, we need food. Eat your teams for sure, the streets sure seem rude. For fam like the partridges, pardon him for the mix-up. Battle for your Tory cartridges or put your kicks up, it's a stick up. Put your blicks up. Brung that bung. There goes that news van again. Act like you knew like toucan salmon them. Eat rappers like part of a complete breakfast. Their rhymes ain't worth the weight of their cheap necklace. String them up, ring them up under whack junk snack. And get that out your hand, punk. Jump and get your dunk smacked. Foul, we all know the rules, bro. You slow, you blow the super, you fools. His own boss like Hugo. All brother died of an overdose. Yes, Lord. An overdose. Black misery.
Messed up. This figure in the middle, and it's got like the hands like on the side, like the hands of doom. And they're like representing the city and the environment around this artist, right? And what I'm trying to draw is the artist in the middle, and he's like all by himself in his own world and whatnot. He don't care about nobody around him, and that's what the hands are, everybody around him.
Yeah, who is this character? That's you.
Who told you? Who gave you that idea?
Mom, and I've been knowing for a long time that was you.
Ridiculous.
nasty. That is probably somewhat of a travesty having me. Then he told the people you could call me your majesty. Keep your battery charged. You know it won't stick, yo. And it's not his fault you kick slow. Should've let your trick hold your sick glow. Plus nobody couldn't do nothing once he let the brick go. And you know I know that's a bunch of snow. The beat is so butter. Peep the slow cutter as he utter the calm flow. Don't talk about my mom, yo. Sometimes he rhyme quick, sometimes he rhyme slow, or vice versa. Whip up a slice of nice verse pie, hit it on the first try, villain. The worst guy, spot hot tracks like spot a pair fat to the scotch from out the square shot glasses. And he won't stop till he got the masses. And show them what they know not through flows of hot molasses. Do it like the robot to headspin to boogaloo. Took a few minutes to convince the average boogaboo. It's ugly, like look at you, it's a damn shame. Just remember all caps when you spell the man name. Like a poet, like baby doll. I bet she tried to say she gave me her all. She played ball. All bets off. The villain got the dice rigged. And they say he accosted the man with the sliced wig. Allegedly, the investigation is still ongoing. In this pesky nation, he got the best con flowing. The pot doubles. Now they really got troubles. Madman never go like snot bubbles.
Shit, spare of the moment. Squad with the guard, best prepared for atonement. People, add to the throne shit. Spare of the moment. Squad with the guard, best prepared for atonement. People, add to the throne shit. Spare of the moment. Squad with the guard, best prepared for atonement. Popular, but not that popular. Papature. Rock'em soccer robot, the knots on top of you. Imperious Rex. Slap niggas with the eagle evil. That nigga blackjack tripper at the top of you. Imperious Rex. Slap niggas with the eagle, Imperious Rex. Slap niggas with the eagle, Imperious Rex. Slap niggas with the opera, Imperious Rex. Slap niggas with the eagle evil. That nigga blackjack tripper at the Regal Beagle. Bet I beast harder on the beat street. Father keep heat, peace slaughter creeps to keep his V bomber. Refuse to play phony. Bruise on my back, I refuse to say Toby. Disrespectful to me and my son jokes. Crowd freedom like Kunta Kinte with 1 foot. Tight ball when I write Sean crazy. Never catch my daughter with the white doll, baby. Black and I'm proud. Mix tobacco with loud. So I roll my own spliff when I travel around. Fire the rapper, strike when I'm hungry. Lying on my back like the king of Zamunda. Live and direct, the 9 of your neck.
All right, folks, we are back. Once again, DBO, Soliloquies of Shenanigans, premier event for 2021. So the next set of acts that we have, the brother is going to be introducing them to the forefront today, has a lot of esteem for both individuals. So without further ado, I will pass this over to the Honorable Creek Jordan to be able to do a perfect introduction. Please, after you.
All right, welcome back, everyone. I hope you enjoyed the dope tunes provided by our brother, Shaggy Flores. This next poetess coming to the stage is well-renowned in the poetry world. She is a DJ, MC, poet, author, and professor at Clark University in Atlanta, Georgia. Y'all give it up for Queen Sheba.
Hey everybody, what's up? That comedian was something else, boy. All right. I am coming to you live from my kitchen in Atlanta, Georgia. And I have known Shaggy and Karenga actually for about 20 years. This year makes my 20-year anniversary doing spoken word. And I am a professor at Clark Atlanta University. And as of this year, I am Grammy nominated for the spoken. Thank you so much, Gregory. Thank you for the slow clap. I appreciate that. Yes, you can find the track on Robert Glasper's album, the name of his album is F Your Feelings, and I am track number 11. So he was up for a Grammy that makes this walk. So I got 3 poems for you here. First one is called Trigger Warning. Amadou Diallo, Manuel Loggins Jr., Ronald Madison, Kendra James, Sean Bell, Eric Gardner, Michael Brown, Alton Sterling, Sandra Bland, Akil Denkins, Gregory Gunn, Samuel Du Bois, Brenda Glenn, Freddie Gray, Natasha McKenna, Walter Scott, Christian Taylor, Ezell Ford, Oscar Grant, Laquan McDonald, Tamir Rice, Yvette Smith, Rakia Boyd, Trayvon Martin, George Floyd, and so many others. But you want to be yellow caution sign, white flag at the end of a stick allowance to get up from your chair and slide between knees, disrupt the hair in the back of heads, balance your toes over the innocent feet that have contorted out of your path. Curious eyes and a fixed gaze follow your clamor and watch you chunk the deuces to a ritual that has given you sanctuary, that has acquiesced to your wavering personality. How entitled are you? How vente mocha latte work from home in your PJs, mocha latte airbook, nanny for your only child are you? To want to escape without repercussion, dodge the tempest of awareness that becomes without remembering what it looks like to walk home in the dark after Pilates, newly gentrified part of town, or when you walked in on your mother on her knees in front of your stepfather with his 4 emergencies only firearm pointed at her head. You don't even know your arm is gonna remember his grip. Yet you want a church fingertip out before your monthly for the culture outing turns therapy fainting couch and tissue box. Before it turns stolen journal read aloud. No one warned Sean Bell. Safe space bullshit. No one in a brown body is safe. No one gave a head nod to Tamir Rice, didn't say, hey, today that gazebo might not be a good idea. There was no buck in the air or bullet on the ground kicking up dirt right short of his feet. Just 2 pieces of lead, zinc, copper science experiment straight to the torso. I mean, he even held on till the next day, was willing to take racism to his face, but you want to be told to exit before the tree falls on your car, before you remember to renovate a slave house with your trust funds. A few words might remind you that the 4th glass of Malbec won't bring your brother back. From the underbelly of an 18-wheeler, you wanted to be cautioned about words on rainforests that have committed suicide for us to rationalize your brother getting shot for the front seat of his car with his seatbelt on, where forced entry into my vagina is equal currency for 2 hours of mundane elementary conversation over tea lights, wood chopsticks painted gold, and 3 courses of rice and raw fish. A brown boy reminds you are $50 short of that abortion. You're going to spend an entire performance on the other side of the glass doors, dragging on a Lucy. Poems are supposed to fun mirror your shit. You're right. I could be acting like I've been ghosted by friends I called my sisters so many times I sage and move on. You're right. You could be wearing long sleeves to cover up the cigarette burns shea butter couldn't fade. The very thought of walking to the Chevron for cool 100s in a box might make an involuntary tear dive out of the corner of your eye, but you're still here though. You're still here, unlike Sandra Bland. Michael Sterling. Hey, do you think Rakia Boyd ate that day? Maybe Rakia was blowing off steam from biology lab. Maybe she was being cornered in the bathroom by upperclassmen that didn't like her shirt or noticed she wore the same jeans twice in 1 week. Maybe her boyfriend just dumped her for the social media model with all the likes. Parents are signing divorce papers before mortgages, and she don't like the way her mama's And she don't like the way her mama's new man looks at her. Now Rakia is recycled earth. She don't get to jump in her homie's mama's car. Ain't no more hooky. Ain't no settlement check good enough for me to emoji replace her pussy as a universal handshake, a secret nod for the boys club. You should still get to scuttle out of the room because someone might take the safety off. Pepper spray your retinas, might say the word that makes you throw dishes against the wall, a can of Similac at the cabinets, and iron still plugged in against his chest. You're still here though. I ain't loading blanks. All my poems are gonna be the first night alone in a new house, a hoodie in a dark hallway, a broken parking lot light at Walmart during Christmas, a tall man approaching, heartburn in the shoulders, a glimpse of a gun in the waistband at a movie theater, in a crowded club, at a concert. Where were the warning signs for Kendra James, Sean Bell, Eric Gardner? What about Mr. Grant? Executed, cold blood, step over a warm body? How is your balance? Tell them to bring the rope from the Texas jail cell, the gun from the corner store, the sniper from the playground, the shepherds from the elementary school, at the new Black charter school. Tell them to bring their knives. Tell them to come fully loaded because we, the poets, are the motherfucking cannon. That's one. This second poem is called Superheroes, and it's dedicated to all the brothers that put this together. For you, Shaggy, and all your friends. Thank you so much for having me. With the sun sculpting the brilliance in your faces, I can still see the scars of over 4,000 years ago. Home tribes carved the symbols that mark you as the warriors in Cuba, the chiefs of Alaska, the kings of Sudan, and the priests of the Taiwanese. So nigga, please, should not be in our vocabulary. 17 centuries of persistence to change the stigma they got stuck with. Instead of degradation, we should encourage them. Father, I am blessed to be in your presence. Brother, you are strong. Husband, I adore you. Son, you are wonderful. Grandfather, you are special. Uncle, you are intelligent. There are real life superheroes. I've seen them from a distance. Some may not see what I see on the bus in the dawn of the morning. I've seen their capes disguised as leather jackets, their crowns as baseball caps turned backwards. Where you see a metal case, a lunchbox, or an attaché, I see a secret compartment where he hides the last few dollars he saved to take his wife to Cirque du Soleil, hides that seashell he plans to make into a necklace, or his go-go gadget arms to hold his wife tight with. And that orange hat, I'm sure, is the secret agent transmitter where he gets all his directions for his secret missions. How to talk to young brothers who won't listen, showing misguided adolescents how to handle confrontation when their integrity is in question. Never break during challenges and give thanks during your blessings. 20 years of service to a corporation that undeserving, even unnoticed, he never loses focus. Not even a pen with his pension. He always finds time to kiss his wife before rushing off to school at night. Your encouragement pushes him to study instead of clubbing. He acknowledges you when asked what his goals include, and he responds, graduation. He transformed from scholar to father, using restaurant bathrooms to switch suits, flies to pick up the children from the program after school. The 6-year-old tries to remain cool as father and son give each other that what up head nod that makes the male greeting universal. There are such things as superheroes. I watch 6-foot corporate giants take on the form of teachers and leaders during Little League. You might even see them petitioning the city when crooked politicians were deciding which inner city school district gets air conditioning. They'll adore you women for helping them with the red tape it takes to be an entrepreneur versus letting another state-funded higher learning institution rape them of every penny they borrowed from their families. And how dare we drool over the pecs of Lennox Lewis without acknowledging their dreams of becoming an athlete. And did we fantasize over LL's lips kissing us on our just to call it quits the first time we felt like it wasn't working? I don't see drug dealers and gangsters. I see young men knowing told they could make it. I don't see children out of control. I see young leaders that go without examples. I don't see elderly men without ambition. I see responsible individuals who sacrifice for their children. They are scientists by nature, planting seeds in the earth to birth creation. They are mathematicians by definition, one with the gods, the step before wisdom. Changing our perception will make them all visible. Spontaneously kiss them, I bet it makes a difference. Hug them, I bet they shed that skin that makes them so defensive. Be the example of patience and watch how quickly they reveal their true identities. I have come to know our Black men not as brothers without direction, but as extraordinary humans waiting for someone to let them know, brothers, you are my superhero. Thank you, Karenga. Oh, look at y'all brothers. Oh, y'all so mushy. That's what's up. That's so cute. I love it. Y'all don't, you know, we'd be talking shit about y'all, but we love you too. Snaps. We don't snap anymore. That was for the 60s. That was for the 60s when we were trying to be quiet so the police wouldn't hear us inside with our rallies. Now we rewind, go in, poet, say it again. Remember why you wrote it? Hell yeah, speak that shit. That's what you do. That's snapping shit later. No snap.
Go ahead.
Okay, cool. This one is called Made in America. I also have a book, since y'all buying books. I have a book. It is called, I'm about to put it here. It's called Foster Care to Fame. And that is how, and my last name is Rem. My first name is Bathsheba, like in the Bible. And that's how you can find it on Amazon, or you can just DM me on IG and I'm be more than happy to send it to you. I'm coming out with a new book. This year, again, is my 20-year anniversary doing spoken word. And I'll be celebrating my second collection of poems called Clemency, Poems to Help You Accept the Apologies You Will Never Receive. Take it how you want it. So, all right, here's my last one. Thank you again to Shaggy and everybody else that helped to put this on. Super organized. I love the intermission. That was super dope. Yeah. And yes, I do DJ. So if you got an event, when your spaces start to open up, I got a passport and I'm ready to roll. All right, here we go. This is called Akko Ben. And Akko Ben, I don't know if you can see it. Maybe this is it, Akko Ben right here. It's a bullhorn and it's called Call to Action. I have a billion tattoos all over my body, which I love and want more. Okay, here we go. They will hunt you. Leave gravel in your cheeks, scars across your forehead, brand your arms and call you a club, a band of brothers. They will force guns in your hands and call you peacekeepers, microchip your shoulders and release you to the wolves. With white gloves, they will run their fingers across your baseboards. They will run you down, pull the plug on the sun, cut it off by the electric box, meter your usage and charge you for becoming too bright. They will change the signs on the road, leave blood dripping through the mesh of the faucets kept loose by landlords as interest, holding your family hostage like collateral damage. Leave blood on the leaves to scare you. Look up. No one ever looks up. Look up. They will ask you to prove your poverty on a dotted line in triplicate. Demand proof of life. Upload pictures of your children on the playground in real time. Anticipate your birth, pine box, and serial number. Demand proof of life. Upload pictures of your children on the playground in real time. They will surely anticipate your birth, pine box, and serial number. But I was born of sacrificial fire dances and vodka, turquoise and peacock feathered headpieces. I was promised a harvest moon and a hayfield from my peace pipe. My ancestors are also wetbacks, drawing the Nile from their roots and shaking the Atlantic from our mudcloth. What language do you dream in? History has its casualties. I bleed red, sing blue. I am the invention of the wheel and the square bolts that hold it together. together. I tell my son it's Ramadan to explain why we haven't eaten in 12 weeks. I am peanut butter and penicillin. I am the break and the beat. I am the blood of the lamb and the flaky first Sunday wafer crumbs of Christ. Russian roulette is another day in the middle school lunch line. Ring the alarm. The world is not on our shoulders. It's in our tongue. It's in the sweat during lovemaking, birth from our broken levees. My ancestors invented the water and the faucet. Where is my clean drink and my healthy diet? What are you building here? Our country is the success of questions finally answered. Find me the pressure marks left on your wrists. They must have been tied during the hurricane. How many splinters penetrate your lifeline? Lodged in your palms, left there from the driftboards, holding up waterlogged bodies in the bayou. Hold out your limbs like the great trees whizzing through your rear view. A million arms trying to grasp a piece of heaven. Don't ask me to understand while I'm poor and you have to unbuckle your belt to sit. I invented the mailbox for your anthrax and the gas mask for your wars. This is the dream, the nightmare that shakes me awake by stuffing overdue bills down my throat. Dear America, please don't outsource our happiness and leave us with the addiction of the pursuit. What star on the flag is meant for us, the poor, the back-breaking field hands and railroad builders, the midnight truck drivers and human resource operators, people who work retail and blood banks? I am fair trade and Wall Street. I am the sit-in and the stand-up. We are the acceptance speech and the voiceless. I am a Democrat holding hands with a Republican on the square, open field. I am the grace when the cashier gives me too much change in the IOU slip, the rain check. Our calluses and our country is brown. And you think I'm a threat because I wear a hoodie and read the dictionary. But if we are all products of America, where is my motherfucking receipt? Boom. That's me. I'm Queen Sheba. Thank you so much for having me. I appreciate you, Shaggy, and everyone that put together soliloquies and shenanigans. I've been trying to say that 10 times fast all week long. Y'all are awesome and amazing. You can find me on all social media at The Queen Sheba right here in my tag. And if you need me for anything, hosting, DJing, or as a featured performer, please feel free to hit me up anytime. Thank you so
Sheba,
much.
before we turn it over to Keith, let's say a couple words. I just want to thank you. Wanted to let you know that we had everyone muted. That horn was bizarre. I was trying to find like who was not muted. But let me tell you, you're a pro. You just kept on going. I mean, that people understand how hard that is in the poetry game. I mean, you've been doing it for a minute. So just want to let you know, for respect to your craft, that we want to make sure that we appreciate what you did for us tonight. I'd like to turn it over to Keith Jordan.
Absolutely. Thank you so much.
Woo. Yeah, I'm sorry. I needed a minute because those three pieces there was phenomenal, to say the least. Poetry, it's very unique and everybody's style is totally different. Some poets will make you cry with some of the things that they talk about in their pieces. Some will just, get you hot and you ready to go to war, but Queen, thank you very much. Phenomenal poetess. We love you and we'll see you again soon. And so our last poet of the evening is a brother that's coming to us here. He is a musician, a poet, a publisher, and an author, and an NAACP Image Award winner. This brother speaks the truth as it is his name, Brother Truth Thomas.
Thank you very much. Can y'all hear me all right? Can you hear me all right?
We can hear you, Truth. Just speak up a little bit. We can hear you.
Okay, I want to thank everybody. I want to thank my brother Shaggy, who I love, and all of the brothers who he loves for helping to make this possible. And also, it's good to see my sister, Queen Sheba. It's been a minute, and I love you and everybody who's working to try to uplift our people. I just have tremendous respect and admiration for. I'd like to read some poems in honor of people who've been murdered by the police. This first one is called For My Old Breonna Home, for Breonna Taylor. In my fetal curl, I'm still pierced by points of lead, firing through Kentucky's no-knock early morn, singing lines of death from arias of smoke, battering ram timpani, an entourage of one, subtracted from the lover's binary, bluegrass census ink, breathless as a choke in my crimson pose. Their plain-clothed hooves still derby through my door, and they're off. City of bullets out quickly, country of rounds fighting for the inside. It's bullets, it's rounds, bullets, rounds. It's murder coming up from the rear. It's murder by a mile. Call it what it is. Slave patrol jockeys chasing toe tag trophies, champagne glassing the warrantless race. Warrantless as Kenny, cuffed to tears, being marched through the dog bark streets. Long after their shells made me know rivers, I feel my fingers slip from the life raft of his hand. Grip strength trumped by cooling board tug, I sink into hallway floor. Waterway now, timeless tributary to slaughtered tides. I see bayous teeming with cotton gin fans, Emmett beaten into death's deep dive, streams of blends and bicos in chilly arrest of the wet. I see oceans of arbories crossing with me, swimming in crucified schools, Valenzuela and Boyd, numberless Floyds. I see we are the sea, bottomless as our moans that carry like currents of whale songs. And this next poem I'd like to dedicate to the mother of a young Black woman who was murdered several years ago. I met in a post office. Sometimes you think, quite often when you see this horror happening, that it's someplace else, but quite often it's right next door. Stamps. Stamps at the post office gather round her, open books for our frames to be pressed. Gina, Miss Gina Best will never keep us waiting. Her package of pain always grips us, affixes us, makes us her mail. I'll never get over it, never, she says, as grief recalls the news that first turned her agony on. Police shot and killed India Kager in 2015. She had been inside a car at a 7-Eleven with her child and her child's father, Angelo Perry. She was unarmed and they executed her. My baby, my beautiful daughter, 30 rounds, 30 they fired into the car. Not the regular police, but a SWAT team, she tells us. Did you know that India had never had so much as a traffic infraction? Did you know she was a Navy veteran who played instruments as easy as Prince? Someone has to know. When they started shooting, she covered my 4-month-old grandson, Roman, with her body. I had to stop counting the number of bullet holes in her back. My God, do you know? Who steals the life of a nursing mother and then buys her orphaned infant baby food from Walmart? Who does that? Who? Miss Gina's box of whales may ask you, as she stands near mailers, the color of dust, overpriced shipping tape, and lonely greeting cards. But these are not questions any Black stamp can answer, at least not in a way that isn't fragile or liquid or perishable or potentially hazardous. All we can do at the post office is stick to the parcel of her suffering, cling to her moans with our flesh. That's for Miss Gina. And Brother Shaggy, 2017, I took a trip across country, drove out to LA just after Trump came to power because I wanted to see what kind of country could elect a Klansman as president of the United States. And this is the poem that came from that. America. There was blood in the water and blood in the streets and blood and the tempest raging. As I was walking this Billy Club highway, I saw before me a hate crime skyway. Homeless, shackled to harassment, tent lives tossed to tears by storms of badged blue blues. I saw before me the native water hosed in winter we, the black and brown incarcerated sea of we, Arkansas, bedazzled by medazzalim, the executed legions we, manacled to last mile gurneys, twitching like tails of grackle birds. Trouble in my way, gotta cry sometime. Gotta launch this sorrow like a rocket until contrails of our suffering write their zigzag names on the bosom of the sky. There are hellhounds guarding fences of separateness, unfettered by Gabriel's horn or any sweet pluck of Dust Bowl guitars. Teeth of these dogs are tasers. Their stop and frisk spit like pepper spray. From the roller coaster back of the Blue Ridge Hills to the pancake plains of Texas. This land is cancer, ruling reservations, Bible belts like nooses, diamond deserts flooded with migrant workers' bones. I am stopped in Arizona and they are fetching felonies to plant in my car. I am stopped in Brooklyn and they are breaking the windows of my teeth. I am stopped in Baltimore, where white step blocks bear witness, where one of these days, it won't be long, like Freddie, I'll leave the body of this instrument, along with turds on gunpowder streets flying flies, and liquor store, and bar, and jail, and police roaming and rambling, following my footsteps, everywhere the sun goes walking in this land. I actually did get stopped in Arizona. Quite recently, I came out of quarantine, not unlike a lot of folks, happy just to be out. And this poem I'd like to dedicate to my wife and my son. There are Black Lives Matter signs growing in yards by Range Rover driveways in the District of Segregation, Washington, Ward 3. Where grounds are kept with scalpels, and melanin is mostly apron tied to Whole Foods market aisles. Damn if I know how I got here. One sign calls to me to say, I am passing on a pandemic freedom ride, newly sprung from my quarantine cage. And I want to brake pad my rotors for this brother, hit them hard to halt until they smoke and smell of burning hair. Have a 2020 summit with my social foliage fam on a Sunday in the summer on a Rona raging afternoon as my son is a pacifier drooling and my wife eyes pink drift roses she is itching to snip. But how do you tell a placard that it's stolen or that the soil where it is tokened was never meant for its seeds? How do you tell your child? I've also been disturbed in the past week or so by what's going on in the Middle East, and I'd like to dedicate this next poem to peace, in the interest of peace in the Middle East, and also for justice for Palestinians. Hanging up the belt. Quicksand are fists that blind will follow to trip themselves in ditches. What dragon slayer wielding flames escapes burns of boomerang fire. Drowning is every battle that answers blows with knuckle retorts. No hook kick, back kick, kimura lock can best beasts of war. No bristling backs in tiger style or kumite apart from cheeks and revolution. Although these vengeance arms would wish to fly, send hate to sleep with fishes. For what I want to do, I do not do. And what I scorned, I have become. A willing sheep, a lowered guard, a change inside the gun, a soldier, speedy loading love no tank can overcome. Thank you. God bless you.
Whew. Silence. I don't know about anybody else, but I think I got stunned by that second and that third piece, brother. Man, I don't even know what to say right now. Whew. Wow. So we've listened to some phenomenal poets in the poetry world. We heard some great laughter from one of our funny comedians, Marquez Edmond. At this point, I want to thank all of the artists that performed here, shared your craft and your talent with us during this difficult time that we've all been trying to overcome. Brother Truth, I don't know, man. Just I got to gather myself. I'm gonna need a minute. But again, thank you to all the artists that showed up. And at this point, I'm gonna turn it over to Brother Gregory to say some parting words to us.
Gentlemen, we are so appreciative of the fact that you were able to come together. The artists that have showcased their talent tonight, we applaud you. Your creative vision, your enthusiasm, the passion in every word that you said. We are enlightened by you. We are enriched by you. We appreciate everything that it is that you've expressed tonight, because you have fulfilled us in ways that we never could have expected. And we will remember for many, many days after this event. So, round of applause to all of you. This has been Soliloquies and Shenanigans from the Delta Beta Omega chapter of Iota Phi Theta Fraternity Incorporated. We are the Charles County Centaurs. Once again, huge round of applause to all of the participants tonight. A huge round of applause to Mr. Peabody, Shaggy Flores, for coordinating our event, as well as the other hosts that we had for tonight, Crazy Day, as well as Mr. Keith Jordan. Thank you so much to all of the brothers of Iota Phi Theta Fraternity Incorporated who participated in this event. And we appreciate everything that you do for us in our communities, as well as for enriching the brotherhood in our lives. So this has been DBO. We plan to do many, many more. And we'll be seeing you guys out there. So hope you enjoyed the event. This has been Soliloquies and Shenanigans. Ole, brothers.
And family, for all those